Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing the Asylum. And here we are at the second floor. What do we have? Director, museum, morgue, laboratory. Oh, so many interesting places to see. What about here? Hydrotherapy, office, operating room A and B, and rehabilitation and psychiatry. We'll see what is open to us. We still don't really know anything except we were in the group E, which started to seem to go downward spiral after they apparently were used as a forced labor at night. Remember to always sign with the name of a correct track of voluntary work. It is imperative to inform your assigned nurse at the end of the day. I guess that's Leonard or Lenny. We need to talk to him too. Now the question is, where do I want to go for first? Let's go to the... So we came from there. Let's start from the right. Dr. Hanwell. Can we enter? Probably not. This door wouldn't open, but perhaps the right key would let me in. Well, that's how usually the doors operate if they are locked. Museum. Well, I'm always Patients were allowed to pay short visits to the haunting museum of the Institute, which, rather than a sanctuary of science and erudition, had now turned into a grotesque carnival of abominations. Steady on. So many skulls. Several skulls were arranged on the shelf. Many of them appear to have been drilled into. Yes, you know, holes in the head. To remove the bad humor and making brains breathe so that you would get... Trepanning is the word I'm looking for. Some instruments of unknown purposes, which I didn't want to discover. So those would be probably for trepanning, those drills over there. To make a hole in your head, and hopefully that would cure you what ails you. From what ails you. Ooh. I don't think this is for woodwork. Wait, what is that? Rebecca Pierce. Unstable, female wing. Profile. Rebecca Pierce did not suffer any specific ailments early in life, but fell victim to violent sexual assault as an adult. She was found in a state of shock by the authorities, who rescued her, and after a medical examination, Rebecca was found to be pregnant. The perpetrator was never apprehended. During the period following the assault, Pierce exhibited delusional behaviors and panicked whenever men were in the same room as her. Well, I can understand that. Thereafter, following strict attention and care, she gradually began to recover and return to her senses while coming to terms with her new condition. Pierce eventually managed to begin socializing with her peers and to feel more comfortable in the presence of men. Regrettably, she has recently suffered an inexplicable breakdown and is experiencing frequent neurotic fits. She mistreats both her peers and the nursing team using foul, highly offensive language while screaming and kicking. In 2 incidents, Pierce was found repeatedly hitting her stomach and insisting that her unborn child was spawned from hell. Medical instruments of various types, indeed. Very various. Almost like a torture chamber. Why were there so many skulls in this museum? Good question. What's not like about skulls? Maybe they speak to them. Or to us. A complete human skeleton. It seemed real. Well, I'm fairly certain that is real. Measurements for the skull, I guess, because of course. Elegant trays covered the window. Well, They are apparently cutting something. The picture depicted someone important with some sort of gory medical intervention happening behind him. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen mostly, because there's no ladies around, we can see when we cut this patient here. Stop screaming and squirming there, you lunatic. I'm trying to heal you. As you can see, we are cutting here. Or my assistants are cutting here. Come on, cut faster, you lout. And we can see the blood drawing in, and we are making this patient stop squirming to feel much better. I don't know. Sorry about that. And here we are. What do we have here? Yes, we are gonna remove this kneecap from here. What? A patient undergoing some painful treatment. Yes, removal of kneecap. Kneecap, I assume. Well, probably not, but... Hands? What was the point of displaying severed hands? Well, if you need a hand or two. A series of radiographs showed various areas of human body. Human brain. Charming. Yes, very charming. Good with Chianti and fava beans. I picked up the tweezers with care. Okay, we got tweezers. A typical glass slide for putting tissue samples on it. This could come in handy later. Please, no. Nothing with science. Since it wasn't needed anywhere else, I left the tweezers in the exhibit. Huh? You picked them up carefully, then you put them back there. Were those ears? But why? Well, you always want somebody to hear you, so... This exhibit displayed hands of various shapes submerged in some kind of a liquid. Formaldehyde or something like that, I guess. It looked like some kind of an animal, another twisted feature of this gloomy museum. Well, it looks some kind of an animal, whatever that might be. It was a jar with something odd inside, an organ shaped like a pastry. Hideous. An abomination of nature, baby with gut-wrenching birth defect. Reminds me of a few museums I've been in. It's which had a human neural system laid open and whatnot, and other gory and nasty things. They look like Siamese twin babies. So we can take tweezers, but we will leave them there. We need something to grease the wheels to crack open the wall. We have a glass. I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but we will hopefully find out. If we don't find out, I will consult walkthrough if we get stuck. So there wasn't anything else in there. So what's on this side? So we were in Office of Director, Museum. So next is Morgue and Laboratory. The solarium used to be a clean and peaceful spot to relax and emit sunbeams. Quite the opposite of its present and sorry condition. I felt a brief sense of melancholy. Well, must have been a nice place at some point. Considering. The solarium was in shambles with debris and assorted garbage scattered all around. Record of patient's house in local hospital. The renowned surgeon who keeps receiving encomiums from his peers, Dr. Walter Hanwell, director and founder of the mental hospital named after him, has made public the number of patients hosted by his institute at 272 patients and 54 staff members, the establishment has positioned itself as one of the most highly populated mental institutions in the world. It has become the pride of our region. Dr. Hanwell recognized the importance of the Kirkbride region. Dr. Hanwell recognized the importance of the Kirkbride design and architecture system in serving to house large numbers of patients in healthy and comfortable environment. However, reputable psychiatrists disagree on this and warn about the dangers of overcrowded building, including managerial problems and ethical dilemmas. According to the Kirkbride plan, a hospital for the insane should not exceed a maximum of 250 patients. Contrary to Dr. Hanwell's claims, we acknowledge the mandate of the Kirkbride plan and my talented staff is keeping our patients under tight control, said Director Hanwell. Our methods are efficient and my experience in the field has allowed us to improve upon Kirkbride's august design. Been there, done that. Another aspect remains almost okay. State cuts 10.5 million off. Interesting. Hubris. The window was shattered, allowing cold breeze to chill the room. All things considered, an intruding wine had brought a little life into this room. Yeah, they can grow everywhere. None of the windows here seem to have survived a long period of neglect. Okay, I guess we're done for now. Oh! Coca-Cola? Insect repellent? Can we take it? Oh, I thought we were taking it. But we are not taking it. I guess we're done here. The best place in the whole building. Morgue, I guess. I'd seen plenty of depressing environments in the Institute by then, but the chilling morgue was the whole different level of decrepitude and decay. I had no idea what these papers could mean. The jar contained repulsive liquid. Oh my god, man, did you really sniff it or open it? Please don't do that. Shards of broken glass protruded from a broken cabinet, suggesting it was best to steer clear. The cabinet or the glass or both. Yes, there's some blood over there. Because of course there's got to be blood. Faucets didn't work here, rendering morgue unusable, or at least I hoped so. Unfortunately, the lamp wouldn't turn on. Unfortunately or fortunately. Lids. Random junk was scattered inside this drawer. Well, yeah. Hammers, some boxes and hammers. I shivered in disgust while pondering what they may have been used for. Cracking some bones. There were a few frightening tools inside this drawer. Yes. Some organ, bizarrely still fresh, was in the tray. I'm a little worried if there's a fresh organ in the tray. The handle wouldn't turn. The book provided some details about the bodies in the morgue, names, tags, and some notes. Can't really make out of it. Bram Stoker. Really? We already got H.R. Giger. There's probably more. The handle wouldn't turn. Okay. It was difficult to discern what was on the scale. A brain? Why would anyone leave this here? Maybe they forgot forgot it. But it indeed looks like a brain. That didn't deserve my attention. How do you know that? Maybe we need them later. Just a bunch of boxes stacked. What waste of space. At the moment, we really can't you know, complain about the waste of space. When we're thinking the whole building. Can we open this? Is there anything I can do with this? No. Why can't we then... Oh, sorry, it was there. Those look like fragments of spine. Some neatly aligned flasks and more rather disorganized items in here. Okay. Good. I could make out some organic material submerged in the transparent liquid. Formaldehyde, perhaps. Try as I might, this cabinet wouldn't open. There are glass flasks of different sizes, yet all empty. An old and worn-out microscope. Okay. The muddy window gave the room a gloomy appearance. You don't say. A small moving table, likely used to transport instruments during autopsies, had nothing on it. Okay. Now the main course. Do I go here? There was no way to open this. The handle of this compartment was stuck. Wouldn't open. The handle was nearly worn out. It hadn't been used in a long time. Oh. It was empty. Well, I think that's a good thing, wouldn't you say? All the bodies in the morgue could be identified by a specific tag. So, what about it? What a disgusting mess. It seemed like someone did this on purpose, perhaps a sort of protest. And anything... There was no way to open this, okay. There was no way to open this. So what about here? Empty. The storage refrigerator was empty, which was a relief. All the bodies in the morgue could... Yes, we know that already. But do we need to do that or not? Nothing useful here. To be honest, are you thinking we would find something useful from these? I don't know. There's no way to open this. It seemed like a stock of blood, perhaps meant to be analyzed. Well... Wait, is that a bread? Seriously? Weird. Yes, we know that already. Identified by the tag. That's a different color. 2 brains. They look like a brains kept for research. Either that or dinner. Empty. Jars, empty jars, thank goodness. You've been checking brains and whatnot, and now you're happy that there wasn't there. Just a pile of empty flasks either on the tray, okay? Maybe we need to do something later. Sorry about that. There was no way, yeah. Hooks. A hook attached to a rail, evidently meant for moving human bodies with ease. Ah, Pinhead should approve this, yes. Well, unfortunately the lamp wouldn't turn on. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, now the phone should be Turned off. Well, not turned off. The sound turned off. Let's see. The foul smell from the broken urinals permeated the whole room. Why the sounds are so loud here? Oh, it works. Bloody hell. There didn't seem to be water flowing in this spot. Well, no chance the faucet wouldn't spill any water. Okay. And the lights won't work. I was thankful that I couldn't see anything in those toilets through all the dark surrounding me. That you're worried? Bloody hell, that was a loud noise. Laboratory. A laboratory greeted me with a hint of sinister ambience. The greenish lighting and the fetid smell only contributed to convey an eerie sense of the organic. Also, bloody hell. Is there a way to, you know... There's somebody over there. Make the text... I have no idea. This is probably for the movement. Wait, we could... Vignette. Let's put it a little bit less, yeah. Why it was full, I don't know. Some sort of chemical substance. The cabinet was jammed. It seemed to have been disused for a long time. The table was in disarray, with many gadgets scattered on it, several empty test tubes as well. Do I want to check everything? Well, it is a puzzle game, so I usually need to check everything I can, but maybe not the faucets. The vacant cabinet seemed to be pure decor. Maybe that is the Dr. Miller. There was nothing worth mentioning, really?
Stop that, or I'll have to call security.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Poor bastard. The influence of Ambrose Miller. Another notable chapter in the Chronicle of Hanwell Mental Institute involves the cordial relationship that developed between Walter Hanwell and Dr. Ambrose Miller, a renowned chemist researching experimental drugs. Dr. Miller first achieved widespread fame overseas due to his involvement in the standardization of clinical drug trials, including the use of placebo-controlled and double-blind tests. Regrettably, Dr. Miller's accolades came to an abrupt halt after the devastating thalidomide tragedy. Oh yes. Thalidomide, pregnant ladies, if they use thalidomide, that caused birth defects on the unborn child, usually very small hands or legs, or if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, in which thousands of babies were born with malformed, oh there it is, malformed limbs as the result of their mothers making indiscriminate and unsupervised use of the drug to treat nausea during their pregnancies. It has been said that Dr. Miller's insistence on demonstrating drug efficacy with no regard for safety played a significant role in this dark chapter of modern medicine, since his insistence that patients adopt the use of thalidomide has been recorded in multiple testimonies. Following this shameful debacle, well, that's a mild word, I would use something else, but Dr. Miller shied away from public eye and became a recluse, maintaining communication with only a handful of select colleagues. It was during this quieter phase in his career that he began to exchange a feverish stream of missives with Dr. Hanwell. No one knows the exact nature of their ardent debates. It was established by acquainted sources that Dr. Miller was fascinated by the ambitious goals of his colleague as well as the luxuriously equipped laboratory in his institute, but it was also rumored that these professionals shared a passion for the non-secular side of medicine. More recently, Dr. Miller emerged from his seclusion and during an interview expressed interest in becoming a staff member at Hanwell Mental Institute. At some point in the past, the laboratory may have been suitably equipped, but present it was complete mess equipped. So I presume you are Dr. Miller. Is there something in here? No matter how hard I forced it, I couldn't open it. Good thing he is not bothered about it. So Miller, I presume.
Hello? Am I interrupting something?
Who are you?
I'm a former member of the Institute. I came here tonight to look into some docu.
Well, this is highly irregular. Did Julia let you in? I'll need to have a word with her. As you can see, the building is not in a condition for you to go anywhere you please.
Oh, but I'm only going to the allowed areas.
This area is not allowed.
Sorry, my mistake. But would you mind if I asked you some questions?
I was in the middle of something important, but go ahead.
Thank you.
I assume you are...
I'm the new director of the Institute, Dr. Ambrose Miller. My purpose here is to honor the vision of my former colleague, Dr. Walter Hanwell.
Pleased to meet you. The reason I'm here is to research the older history of the Institute, from its heyday until the strange circumstances of its collapse.
As you can imagine, that's not a topic we like to discuss here. We prefer to look forward, not back in the past.
Well, as the new director, aren't you interested in what happened?
That remark seemed slightly insulting.
I didn't mean to.
Look, it was all a sorry episode that none of us are proud of. And those responsible have long since been apprehended. And that's the end of it.
Just one more question about the past.
Why are you so interested in learning about the past?
Well, I was here in the Institute around that time, but I don't quite recall all the events that transpired. Those unfortunate circumstances deeply affected me, and I must understand why.
What was your role in the Institute?
I used to be with patients most of the time.
This is all becoming a waste of my time. What was the question?
Were you acquainted with the Institute back in those days?
Only tangentially. This is my first time here.
All right.
And that concludes this conversation.
Have you seen the patient Lenny around?
Lenny? Ah, yes, you mean Leonard. Yes, I believe he's somewhere on this floor, cleaning a corridor.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I'm looking for information on a patient called Bertrand.
Bertrand? He's one from the old group, right?
I believe so. I've seen footage of him in the therapy room.
Footage? Intriguing. I'll have to take a look at that. But yes, of course he sounds familiar. He's here tonight.
What do you mean, here? Physically?
Physically? What are you, a ghost hunter? Of course, in flesh and blood. He's one of the patients being relocated.
This is an incredible development. Where can I see him?
I don't have such details. All I know is that he's in the same cell where he used to be.
Okay.
Sorry, where was Bertrand's cell?
As I told you, I don't know the exact cell number, only it's the same one where he used to be.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. What condition would you say can lead to chronic hallucinations?
In my experience, extreme stress. For example, panic attacks. Abuse of illegal drugs and other substances too. But most likely it would be something related to the brain. A physical problem. such as an imbalance of neurotransmitters. Schizophrenia can cause hallucinations as well.
Thank you for the thorough explanation. Are you familiar with the term Group E?
Yes, that's a therapy thing. Patients were organized into small groups and encouraged to discuss their fears and problems in confidence. In a more controlled environment, they were treated by, what was her name?
Dr. Ebers-Baker?
Her, yes. I see you're acquainted with the history here.
I've been reading some records on the topic.
Careful, you might stumble onto things you're not meant to read.
We already know Bertrand is here, but...
So, I assume you were acquainted with Walter Hanwell.
Quite so. Walter was a friend. We maintained ample correspondence over the years. Many subjects, both from the field of medicine and life itself, were our common interest. Many times I toyed with the idea of coming here to work with him. Alas, fate had a different plan for us.
What do you mean?
Well, the circumstances you're obviously familiar with. I was finally prepping myself for a greatly belated visit when all of a sudden the Institute shut down. Walter had been a friend in writing for many years, yet regrettably I never got to know him in person.
Anything else?
It's odd that you were such a close friend with Dr. Hanwell, yet only exchanged letters.
I don't see what's so odd about that. Some people prefer the expression and flair of the written word, especially someone as enlightened as Walter was. We never even spoke on the telephone. Always preferred the intimacy of the prose. You see, Walter was a very reserved fellow. He didn't like public appearances, nor to be photographed, and I respected that. In a way, it made our relationship more intriguing. We connected down to the purest level, our thoughts.
Ooh, nice. Anything else?
There's one more.
Please, enough chatter. I have work to do.
Okay, Crawford.
Does the name Crawford ring a bell?
Not in the least.
Lenny.
Have you seen a patient wandering around?
The one who's cleaning the rooms? Yes. Leonard, I believe.
That's who I mean, yes. Is it safe to speak with him?
Certainly. Perfectly safe, otherwise we wouldn't allow him to roam freely. I'm not familiar with his case, though. We are simply continuing with the same treatment he had in the past.
Bruno.
Do you know Bruno?
Of course I know Bruno. He's our security guard.
Is there anything of interest you could tell me about him?
Not really. He's just a security guard.
But he's working in your establishment and contributes to a greater goal. You can't possibly operate this place without security.
Look, if you want to form a union with Bruno, be my guest. I need to keep working with this dangerous chemical.
Why such intolerance?
I have a highly dangerous chemical right here.
Fine.
Okay. Dr. Ebersbacher or Baker.
About Dr. Ebers-Baker.
The therapist?
Yes. I'm curious about her role at the Institute.
She was well positioned in the ranks at Hanwell, respected career and all. But if you ask me, she was a failure.
Really?
So you think Dr. Ebers-Baker was part of the reason why the Institute ceased operations?
No, at least not just her. But she was another component in the equation. I believe her foolish rivalry with Hawthorne distracted Walter from a greater purpose. And Hawthorne, well, he wasn't a saint of my devotion either.
Anything else?
There's one more.
Please, enough chatter. I have work to do.
Okay. Miller.
So, you're the famous Dr. Miller.
Famous? Not quite. At least not around these parts. I'm just a humble servant who wishes to continue with Walter's grandiose dreams.
How so?
As soon as I heard this establishment was ceasing operations, I made arrangements to be transferred here, hopefully continue Walter's work. My connection in the field of medicine across the years proved valuable, as here I find myself as the new director in charge of this reopening.
You seem quite attached to this building and its history.
I wasn't involved in those days, just acquainted with the philosophy of Hanwell Institute. The hospital used to be an illustrious example of what the will of man can accomplish. All I'm doing here is picking up the pieces and fulfilling that dream.
And Julia.
Julia seems to be a nice member of the new Hanwell family.
Our new receptionist. I don't have much to say. I just met her earlier this morning.
She's doing a fine job. Must be difficult putting a nice face to all this filth.
Filth?
I'm sorry, I mean, let's talk about something else.
Okay,
Why did Hanwell shut down all of a sudden?
That's not a topic we are discussing here, as you can imagine.
I'm interested in learning the truth.
Truth these days is a social construct.
Oh, come on. A fact is still a fact, and there must be a reason why this place closed doors.
Mismanagement. Hanwell got too careless. He trusted the wrong people.
But...
That is all I'm saying on this topic.
Let's use the letter opener to force the issue.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Miller.
Or maybe not. I guess we can leave and try to find Leonard then. No luck, it was locked. Because he's using the dangerous chemical. You know, dangerous. Well, hello there, Lenny. Nice stained glass. The complexity of the design in the window painted the spot of the corridor with unique glow.
Lenny, I've been in the basement. You were right.
Really?
Yes, I was there before. And you too. I had this memory. We were working together in some kind of construction project. What were we doing down there?
I don't recall. Everything is so fuzzy.
Lenny, you have to make an effort. This is important for our sakes.
I don't want to, please. I don't want to remember. It hurts.
Okay, don't worry, Lenny. Let's try something else.
Okay,
I've learned that Bertrand, a former patient of the Institute like you and me, is here, and I'm gonna pay him a visit.
I hope he's all right.
I hope so too, Lenny. We both need answers.
okay, that really didn't help us that much.
Did you hear anything else about this?
No.
Lenny, can I have a word with you about the construction area below?
No. I said I don't want to remember that.
That's fine, Lenny. It's okay. I'm sorry for pressing again. It's incredible, but Bertrand, another patient from that time, like you and me, is here too. Don't you feel like this is all a strange coincidence?
I couldn't say. We all belong here. It's not a surprise to me.
The Institute was shut down under strange circumstances, but I don't recall much about that period.
Me neither. We were in pain by then.
What is this about pain?
It was the pain that led to the shutdown. Down below.
Did you hear anything else about this?
No.
Is there anything else you can tell me about this?
No. I'm sorry.
Is there anything else you can tell me about this?
No. I'm sorry.
Did you ever meet the former director of the Institute, Walter Hanwell?
I'm not sure. I saw many people walking around in the Institute in the past, but no one ever told me who Hanwell was.
I see. Thank you. See you around, Lenny.
So, we need to find Bertrand's cell. Well, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Huh. Where was his... do I have it on here? No, I mean... here. Therapy room. I get... are these visions? So I may have missed something. I'm definitely missing these. Cell 102A. Okay. So I'll have to go way down. So once I'm there, I'll see you there. Be right back. Okay, we're getting close. 104A. So he should be... wait. 101. 103. The door was locked, but surely someone in the Institute had the key to it. According to my findings, this was Bertrand's cell. Well, only thing I can think of, it would be the key from the card. Come on. But how do I get that? Is he here? Wait, he's not here. Can I go there then? Bruno was nowhere to be seen. I needed to access more places, so I took his keys with me, and I wasn't proud of it. Course you were, you bastard! You're grinning your like a madman. Well, that was weird to say in here. Anyhow, maybe we can now enter 102A. Come on, where's the key? That's not a key. Journal update. Oh, hello there. Okay, another vision, but with a clear sense of purpose. This patient Bertrand had seen something of major importance, which he absent-mindedly attempted to draw on the floor. But what? Had I also seen it? Well, we have the red crayon. The mattress had putrid stench on it. There was nothing of interest on the stand. Oh, we need the music box. We need the music box. What had they done to you, Bertrand? No, we're not using key to you. Not that. Here's the crayon. We need the music box. Can we talk to you now? Bertrand? There he was, but seemingly in state of catatonia or trance. I wondered if he'd be of any help. He will be. We need the music box. Oh. Bertrand was beyond help, yet he'd clearly seen something linked to my visions, and who was the man with him who had swallowed that wind-up key to the music box? I think it was the person who was childlike, huge but childlike. I can't remember the name. Yeah, we're still here. Despite all the clutter in the room, there was nothing inside the cabinet. Really? Where's the goddamn music box? Anything new in your... Only up. So Flipping Mozart here next to me somehow broke out of his cell and ran upstairs. He'd spent a fair amount of time trashing the cafeteria. However, this random guy, yeah, that's how bizarre this place is, helped me to calm him down. Whatever, I'll take it. At least I can get some rest before the next rounds. Ugh, pounding is more than I can take now. Feels like it's my own head hitting that door. Screw it, I'll give him the music box again. Old paper bags. Nothing in here. So who has the music box? Do you have it? I wasn't desperate enough to enter the cell without first dealing with the high-risk patient in some way. The madman was furious but also vulnerable. I decided that wouldn't do much good to calm down the patient. I decided, yeah. We need a wind-up key. We need something to calm him down or get the music box from him. Would Leonard know anything about the music box? Anything in here I could use? What am I missing? I don't think she can help. Do we have something in here? What was this room? I hadn't come to the Institute to sit down and read gossip magazine. Psychology of love. Yeah, I think we checked that already. Okay, I'll go for Leonard and maybe he knows something. So I'll see you once I'm there. Be right back. Okay, we are close where Lenny is. So maybe he can help with us. Lenny? Lenny? So where do we now go? Rehabilitation, psychiatry, operating room A and B, hydrotherapy office. So we have a... I don't know. I tried the keys to the Dr. Hanwell's and the other doors. It didn't work. Well, this is a new area then. A gas tank? It seemed like a dangerous thing to find in here. Maybe it's empty. It wouldn't open. So we can't go to psychiatry. And we can't use anything to open it. What about rehabilitation? Well, that worked. Is there something over there? No trace of water. Yes, there's something over there. Exhausted and disappointed by the last session, I decided to take a walk outside in the yard to clear my mind. It was a sunny afternoon, more peaceful than usual, with patients aimlessly wandering on the grass, all of them lost in their own absent-minded business. A soothing ambience, if a bit eerie, which helped calm my nerves. Among those patients seemingly enjoying the blissful yet rare moment was Leonard, who was more talkative than usual with his peers, clearly influenced by the same kind of haunting aura that I felt in the air. There's something about him that makes me even more irate about the regression in my group. Leonard was so close to being discharged from the Institute. As I approached him in hopes of having more open conversation than our therapy sessions usually afforded, a striking detail that I had missed earlier, thanks to the duller lighting of the therapy room, stopped me in my tracks. There was a noticeable rash across his ankle, running from his right foot up to the bottom of his gown. Leonard seemed to have repeatedly scratched himself, and quite recently too, judging by the shiny red spots sprinkled across his skin. Puzzled about this, I motioned to get my patient's attention, but noticed yet another curious aspect of his appearance. His gown was overly dirty, although this fact by itself was irritatingly usual by now. However, it wasn't just dirt, but some sort of splotches of organic matter, as if Leonard had rubbed himself against a moldy wall. My initial guess was that he'd simply laid down on the grassy grounds of the yard to have some rest, but there was something about the texture of those stains that still intrigued me. They had a certain glittering nature to them, like the trail a slug would leave. And their color wasn't quite green either, as reminiscent of grass, but a shade similar to turquoise. I took Leonard to my office so I could ask him few questions in private. The organic stuff that I'd obtained from Leonard's gown has proven to be more bewildering than I imagined. It is of lungoid origin as suspect, yet seems to be exceedingly rare. While this is far from my area of expertise, there's no question this sample is something unique. Its properties indicate that it can only thrive in warm and humid environments, which are unlike the conditions in our region. We are blessed with the dry weather throughout the year. However, that means this mold, fungus, is from some kind of a deep undergrowth, and somehow Leonard has gotten close to it. I left cotton swab impregnated with this stuff next to one of those lab rats. Evidence dictates that the presence of this material caused a visible rash on Leonard's body, so mere small quantities should produce a marked change in such a little creature. Something happened to the rat. I can't quite put my finger on what that is, but the rat is behaving differently. No visible physical alterations of note, but something's not the same. Could it be? Is it carcinogenic? A number of mold species produce toxins that can cause various health problems, the worst of which can ultimately include liver and lung cancer as well as invasive diseases. especially in small children, the elderly and the people with weak immune system. Especially in small children, the elderly and people with weak immune systems. The most toxic mold known to date is thought to be black mold or Stachybotrys chartrum, which can cause general respiratory problems, especially if one has asthma or allergies, and may be linked to lung cancer, but none of this applies to our case. Moreover, some poisonous mushrooms are known to cause organ failure, but none have been proven to be invasive to this extent. There's the death caps and the rather romantically named destroying angels in the realms of plants. There's of course the Atropa belladonna, but that's basically poison. It doesn't stimulate malignant growth, while some species of mushrooms contain naturally produced carcinogens. These exist only in minute amounts and cannot directly cause cancer, and yet there are peer-reviewed records of the unusual Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, which is a pathogenic fungus, although it only attacks insects. It is parasitic indeed and did something to the rat, but no, that's impossible. There are no records of such things anywhere in the world. If what I suspect is true, this carcinoma has an effect akin to hallucinogen drug, and if Leonard came close to it, maybe the rest. Oh my god. Fungi of Yuggoth. Well, that's interesting. So we came in contact to some kind of fungi while we were digging in deep. A broken wheelchair, useless. Will Hodgson. Profile. William Hodgson is a robust man with a rugged facial features. Half of his face is covered in severe burn scars. He fell victim to an intense fire as a child as a result of being neglected by his parents. Ever since that event, Hodgson has experienced acute panic attacks whenever the subject of fire surfaces in any given conversation, an inevitable occurrence that has resulted in psychogenic, non-epileptic seizures and uncontrollable crying. Such reactions are in stark contrast with his imposing looks, yet Hodgson has unfortunately become a slave to his irrational fear. However, this patient can be equally pacific and mellow, routinely obeying orders and staying out of trouble. Specialists have determined his condition is reserved. While he shows promise, he is slow and exhibits difficulty reasoning and learning, far more than his peers. Hodgson is lucky to have a formidable voice that commands a sense of respect, which has fooled high-risk patients who would otherwise have taken advantage of him. Anything we know? Therapy Group E, we don't know the cell. So he swallowed the P. Ugh. Leonard Huntings. That doesn't look too good. Broken arm? Or leg, I don't know. A typical scale for measuring weight of the patients was rusted. A set of wooden stairs, probably used to train patients. Oh, there's some papers over here. Rehabilitation sessions, morning report. A number of patients exhibited injuries of varying severity and unknown origin. It is recommended that they continue with more extensive round of rehabilitation sessions to avoid worsening condition. As usual, we will continue with the sessions sorted by cell number. Cell 101A, patient is well, no special care needed. Maybe that is us. Cell 102A, cellmates Bertrand LaRoche and William Hodgson presented a marked deterioration in their condition. LaRoche is growing increasingly tense and Nurse Marion noticed a number of bruises in his body, new episodes in which he falls into a sort of catatonic state, unable to respond to stimulations. Hodgson is similarly more on edge than usual and presented serious burns on his chest that no one could explain. We recommended strict supervision. Cell 105 we detected another fracture in Leonard's ankle. Oh, it was an ankle. Oh, bloody hell. None of the staff can explain how this happened. They are aware of his osteogenesis and extreme care was already Enforced. 2 sessions each day are recommended. Noon report. Cell 102A. Cellmates had some kind of a quarrel over a musical box that LaRoche enjoyed but made Hodgson nervous, as described by Marion. In the struggle, Hodgson retrieved the spring from the device and immediately swallowed it. Oh, it was a spring. The patient was immediately taken to the operating room, but surgeon deemed too dangerous to perform the excision in his current condition. High blood pressure must be managed before administering anesthesia. Evening report. Cell 102A. Hodgson died of a heart attack during his session. Nothing could be done to lower his pressure. Before passing away, the specialist reported heart rate so high that chest was visibly dropping violently. The deceased has been taken to the morgue. Cell 105A. Crawford has developed chronic asthma. Traces of ashes or dirt were found across his body. Recommend increased supervision of his daily wanderings. The patient insists to sleep with the lights on, which bothers Leonard. Hodgson was the patient who swallowed the wind-up key in my vision. Crawford, Jonas, B.S. Rebecca. So that means we need to go back to the morgue, I imagine. Operating room. Something about this place sent shivers down my spine. There was a hint of dread in the air, tanks in the part of freakish mechanical apparatus raining over the room. The bed looked like stained with both rust and organic material. Hopefully it's more rust than organic material. We're gonna use this. But for what end? Ooh, syringe? I never liked syringes, but it was in good shape and could prove useful, so I took it with me. Several test tubes, essential elements in any medical environment. Coffee cups. Empty. Empty. Was this a blood clot? The blanket covering the stretcher looked disgusting, as if it had been drawing dust and fetid condensation for a long time. Well, it probably has. Come on. Can I... A jar that seemed unused and in a newer condition than the rest of the items had piqued my interest. This label said hydrochloric acid. I nearly returned it to the shelf, but decided to keep it around. For now. Why would we want hydrochloric acid? Jar with acid, syringe, keyring. What the hell are we going to do with those? Maybe it's not working. No idea. Dark stains were all over the interior wall of the broken wardrobe. I didn't want to know the source of those stains. Me neither, if we're completely honest. Operating room B. I didn't think they could receive patients in this room, at least not until the bed was fixed. I would say fixing is not the issue. We need to probably change the whole bed. Ooh. A sticky label with the word sedative was in the front of this bottle. Aha! I get it now. No? No. The syringe was now filled with sedative. Well, I can think what we are going to use to do with that. The labels were stained with some kind of fluid, rendering them unreadable. Fortunately, the one said sedative. The drawers in this room seem to have been emptied a long time ago. Empty. Wait, what is that? The medical appliance bore marks of someone enduring pain. Oh, it's for, you know, mouth so you don't bite your teeth together or something else. Garbage all around the bed. It didn't look very hygienic. Well, I don't think the bed is the only problem here. There's some papers over there once I get there. Breakthroughs in experimental surgery. It is widely acknowledged that Dr. Hanwell was the architect of many novel medical procedures as he championed technological advancements for treating his patients. A noteworthy example of this was his development of a new automated machine that could extract brain tissue samples quickly and without incisions. According to the studies conducted by Hanwell Mental Institute, many patients suffer serious mental illnesses, SMI, that are caused by brain tumors and must be treated with surgery. With a large and unexpected caseload of SMI patients, Dr. Hanwell felt the need to devise a system that facilitated the tumor detection process more efficiently than previous methods. In Hanwell's time, the most widely used process for obtaining samples of brain tissue typically required a great deal of time and required 3 or 4 surgeons per patient to perform the craniotomy and extract the tissue. Precious time was also needed to seal the large incision in the cranium. To expedite this procedure, Dr. Hanwell devised the stereotactic transorbital brain biopsy equipment, STRAB, a wondrous machine capable of extracting a brain tissue sample through an eye socket, thus avoiding the need of craniotomy altogether. A doctor could simply input the coordinates of the tumor's suspected location, and the STRAB could complete the complex stereotactic procedure using a sample extraction needle attached to a movable arc. This queer invention led to a controversy. Some scientists and surgeons believed that using such machine would increase the possibility of brain hemorrhage, as its accuracy was questionable. Dr. Hanwell dismissed these opinions as uninformed, stating that the targeting mechanism of his machine was based on the most detailed brain atlas of the time, and that the STRAB was manufactured by the most trusted and reputable professionals. Nice. Maybe we could use the acid. Door won't budge. Hydrotherapy. I hope none of those tiles would fall on my head. Ooh, yeah. More bathtubs in the same gross condition. Luckily, there was nothing in this bathtub. There's a newspaper. Several nurses who mistreatment of patients in renowned hospital. Several nurses who prefer to remain anonymous have filed further complaints about the egregious abuse of patients by authorities at Hanwell Mental Institute. This led to the tense atmosphere of quarreling and accusations among employees inside a once respectable institution. Law enforcement officials, apprised of the situation, spent several hours yesterday evening searching the mental hospital. While no evidence of wrongdoing was found, they provided details during a press conference about the rapidly decaying state of the building and expressed concerns for the safety of patients. Injuries exhibited by allegedly mistreated patients could not be attributed to a particular source. Wounds ranged from severe bruises to cuts to violent fractures and, in the worst case, searing burn marks. Family members of the patients and employees demanded a more severe intervention by state authorities. Dr. Hanwell, who's disinterested in discussing these grave allegations with the media borders on offensive, did not respond to our inquiries, tarnishing his public image beyond repair. Interesting. Can you dig it? Huh. Maybe we could use the hydrochloric acid on the wheels to make them, you know, roll. Interesting. I guess we can't go there. The door seemed to lock from the other side. And this would take us to the hallway. Grimy windows. A section from the roof below was visible from this spot. Oh no. What's in here? No one ever bothered to lift the wheelchair. No, wait. A lowly wheelchair was conveniently positioned in the middle of the corridor, as if it was some kind of a twisted joke. Wait, where the hell are we? Oh, we made a circle. Yes. Oh, that's not the paper we can read. Dun, dun. The view might once have been breathtaking, but between the stains, dirt, and the gloomy night, it was anything but. Try as I might, the door wouldn't open. Is she there? Would she? Okay, I'm gonna say, because I don't know if she's gonna be pissed. Okay. Let's start with sedative. Oh, wrong play. Wait. So we have sedative. We probably can use that now. To get that music box. Then we could go and try to use the hydrochloric acid on the wheels. And obviously morgue is one where we need to go to. No, we're not using acid on you. That worked. Hopefully you guys can see something. It's quite dark for me. Now, let's open this bad boy open. Where's the key? There you are. Sedated, so I gathered the strength to carefully trespass into his realm. Where's the goddamn music box? Finally, this was indeed the music box from my vision in Bertrand's cell. Well, sleep tight. Hopefully, we didn't kill you. Now I go. Why is it so red? Okay, thank God it's not that red anymore. Oh, did I go too far? No? How do I... Ooh, now we... Let's see. No, I would end up ruining it with all the rust. Okay, we can't use that. So I'll have to go to the morgue. So once I'm there, I'll see you there. Be right back. Here we are at the morgue. Now we need to know where is Hodgson. Where was the bait? Is it over there, the book? No, that's a tray. Oh, sorry, there. According to this book, Hodgson's remains were right here in the morgue. Okay. 103. 103. It seemed like a 103. No, this was empty. Five eight, no? Was it? Where was the other body? 103. With a bit of effort, I managed to hook up the body bag. Okay. What do we do now? Oh. The body was too heavy to move by hand. Surely there was a better way. The hook behind me seemed to move a bit. It was evidently part of this mechanism. Stuck. Okay. Bit macabre. I'd have to gather strength to open this bag. Oh no. Hodgson was finally on the table. Was the wind-up key still inside him? Only one way to find out. Are we using the... No, not the music box. Oh, man. Sorry about this, buddy. So sorry. Oh, we got a scalpel from somewhere. That's weird. Oh, that sound. Yummy. So who's hungry? I could use a bite of eat after this. Come on, stick your hand in it. Ugh. Sausages, anyone? The things I do for information. Can't be serious. The due to my being on edge, wind-up key has fallen in the drain. Where was that damn wind up? That is a good question. Where the hell did it go? Outside, maybe? The current was strong, carrying the wind-up key somewhere else. Yes. Somewhere else. What would be the somewhere else? Do we have a map? We do. So maybe to the courtyard? Maybe. Where can I get to the courtyard? Oh! Maybe through here. The morgue is right above us. But I don't know. Please don't tell me it's here. It restored soon as it had mesmerizing effect on Pecha, yet now it only contributes to creepy atmosphere. The shed appeared to be locked. Can I use a key to that? No. I have no idea where that went. Where could it go? I'm trying to think. Is there something in the basement that could help us? Well, we do have pipings. What was this room? No luck. Honestly, I don't know. I was thinking hydrotherapy, but why would it go there? Nothing of note, okay. Okay, do I see where this might lead? Hmm. There's a hose over there, but I don't know. Give me a hint, please. The current was strong, carrying the wind-up key somewhere else. So it took it somewhere else. Where would this water go? And I can't check. I can't check the other areas of this. Okay, I'm gonna check this from the walkthrough because I have no idea. Be right back. Okay, so it should be in somewhere in the toilet. Weird. Ah, there it is. Aha, it was the wind-up key for a music box. Yet I couldn't reach it from this spot. Then... Was this the place where the water actually worked? I damned the skies when I realized the water had carried the wind-up key through the pipe. Where could it go? Oh no. Maybe it's somewhere now under here. I don't know. Let's go check downstairs. So I guess we need to find another toilet or something like that. Oh, I went too far. Is this... This should be under the... Oh... Is this where we... Yeah. Okay, we found the bloody key. Finally, the key for the music box was back in my possession. Okay, that was a... Because I had no idea it was in the toilet. Now we need to go... What would be the fastest way to the patient wing? I'll do that. I'll play the music box on this episode and then I'll end the episode. Okay, that was a bit of a difficult puzzle. Look what I got. Not the keys. Not the acid. No, we don't need the sedative. Bernard had drawn strange pattern on the floor. I felt like I had seen it before, and while it was simple drawing, it overwhelmed me with a sense of dread and despair. Okay. We have strange machine in second floor, rumors, pattern, symbol. Well, we'll have to ponder those things on the next episode. So anyways, well, sleep tight, Bernard. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.